Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I'm a dog with a bone on this this whole Prometheum thing. I think that all of these things where the SEC is involved and all of the arrows are pointing to China getting a leg up on the United States of America, I think we need to point them out, and so I will, because from where I'm standing or where I'm sitting, it looks, everything we see looks like advantages are being given to China while the SEC is going after companies in the US, or in the case of Binance, a potential competitor to the Chinese company that's backing these other things. Watch this. This is, once again, surprise, surprise, under every SEC rock, we find Ethereum, Pro-Ethereum CEO on the origin of their name. Remember, only Joseph Lubin, Sam Bankman-Fried of FTX, and this guy have been able to successfully come in and talk to the SEC. These are the only ones that we know of.
Flourish. I really like etymology of words, and this makes you think of Prometheus and Ethereum. Is that it?
Yeah, exactly. So it works. It works multiple ways. So at the time when we started the company, the idea was that Prometheus gave gave man fire. And from that, you allowed all the civilization to flourish. And Prometheum, the goal was to give the public compliant digital assets or access to it such that the distributed economy could flourish. When you look at the term actually Promethean, with the EAN, the idea is it's relating to character of Prometheus, but especially of being rebelliously creative or innovative. So I like that. And of course, as I mentioned before, everyone in the space who use a smart contract enabled blockchain and who uses smart contract enabled wallets has to give their due to Ethereum. So that was the EM there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's go to here. Mark Cuban was apparently commenting on the SEC, and we're going to get back to Prometheum, promote Ethereum. We're not done with that or China in this video. Mark Cuban had said former SEC enforcement head Jay Clayton unknowingly threw the SEC under the bus and explained why the SEC needs to change registration rules for digital assets. Here's what he said right here, pointed to Broadway tickets as an example. That's the same example that the Prometheum guy keeps using. And then out of nowhere, Andrew Ross Sorkin, after over 2 years of us exposing ETHgate, with timeline, video of their own words, and all kinds of common sense, Andrew Ross Sorkin and CNBC and Squawk Box never acknowledged any of it. But all of a sudden, he wants to defend Jay Clayton. There's a video of him saying exactly the same. I'm pretty sure the description of Clayton's example isn't totally right in that article. He used a similar analogy with me in an interview years ago. I think you can find it online. The complete correct version, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Man, that guy is so creepy to me. Now, Raoul Pal, look at this. It seems pretty obvious to me that Gensler is giving BlackRock the Bitcoin ETF the nod, and also got that Prometheum circus. I like that, Prometheum circus. It's really an SEC circus. I mean, that's what we're talking about. The SEC circus. To prove that he isn't stopping crypto entirely. It's all politics, and in the end, he throws a bone to Wall Street so he can suggest they are more trusted. Then we've got this. This is John Deaton. Brian, if you remember this guy right here, Brian Costello has been all over the Chinese infiltration of the United States. And he goes on Maria Bartiromo all the time, and he's been all over it. So John Deaton says, John Deaton is retweeting the Alibaba F1, and he's retweeting my video where the Promethean CEO basically went in and lied to this congressman. Brian Costello has been discussing with Maria Bartiromo the CCP's influence over the SEC. There's a distinct pattern established. I'm not suggesting anything, just giving you some facts. Alibaba's Ant Financial tried to buy MoneyGram. It was shut down for national security reasons. There's a thumbnail. Because that's what this is. This is national security, and I want to know why Congress is doing nothing. National security reasons. Ripple thereafter purchased 9% of MoneyGram and entered a deal utilizing XRP in MoneyGram's cross-border payments business. On Clayton's last day, he filed a suit against Ripple, claiming all XRP sales, no matter who offers it, is illegal. Hinman pushed for the enforcement against Ripple more than anyone. In fact, the SEC, Hinman's last day was December 4th, 2020, but he came back to attend the meeting with Ripple regarding a pre-suit settlement, which didn't happen. Look who was on Alibaba at IPO: Clayton, Hinman, Chen. By the way, Chen then went to be VP at Alibaba's Ant Financial. Now, all I did was give you facts. Now, we also have a video where Eleanor Terrett was being interviewed by BitBoy that I've shown you, where she said that she had a source that said that Hinman came back to make sure that lawsuit was filed and that Jay Clayton was about to settle with Ripple. All right. Then here's the Prometheum CEO again. You got to hear this one too.
Right now, because, don't forget, that was Ripple's defense, that they claimed that because they weren't given any notice.
There's one thing that these guys all have in common. Joseph Lubin and this guy, this Ethereum CEO, they hate Ripple. And they take shots any chance they get.
And they didn't see any other enforcements really coming against them, or there were no enforcements that were being done that looked like that they impacted their space within the whole crypto sphere. They argued that the SEC was not really in the right space to actually level against Ripple, that they were actually breaking the law and bringing to the crypto world what they're now trying to say is now a security, which of course Ripple has been saying is a utility coin. It's hard, I think, for the SEC in terms of, we'll just talk about Ripple for a second. We just mentioned them, but I think it's going to be hard for the SEC to take enforcement action because I think Ripple are going to go off with it for a number of reasons. First of all, because they've been alluded to for the longest time by almost every branch of the federal government that has to do with financial enforcement. They've always been alluded to as being a utility token. It's never been anything but that I can see. But the other thing is that they've never had any kind of notices that, it's Ripple again, that their conduct was unlawful. So it's kind of a little bit strange. But of course, I know what you're going to say as a lawyer.
Yeah, that argument doesn't work. Because it's a Section 5 violation.
By the way, this woman in this has the most annoying laugh ever.
The securities laws. When you have a Section 5 violation, it basically means it's like equivalent of strict liability. Essentially, you did a unregistered, non-exempt securities offering, which makes it an illegal offering. So if you just do it, it doesn't mean you have the intent for it to be legal, or you had some sort of. You don't have to have malice. You don't have to have thoughts, premeditation. You just have to do it. And the SEC has the window in terms of the statute of limitations on when it could bring the act. I don't think the argument that, we never got any indication from the SEC is legitimate. And if you've read the complaint, that's an interesting complaint when you look at the details.
So wait a minute. So are you saying that they were still within these limits of statute of limitations, considering, how long Ripple's been on the market, and also considering that when Ethereum actually first came onto the market, they were a security, and now they've gone, they went from security to utility, and now possibly back to security again. So how do you rationalize all of that?
Sure. So the statute of limitation tolls every time they do a new distribution, every time they were issuing more Ripple tokens. It's another violation. So it starts the statute of limitation again. If there was one violation, there was more after that because they did additional distributions. So I don't think the statute of limitation argument is valid in this capacity. XRP is arguably the strongest candidate for security out of any of the initial and early token offerings.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they didn't have an ICO. He thinks that he doesn't want to talk about the Ethereum dirty laundry and the ICO and the disguised whales. That was perfectly all right to this guy.
So are XRP going to be offered on your platform anytime soon?
you're bringing up an interesting point. So you have certain tokens that are arguably securities and are very much arguably not virtual currencies. And the question would be is, can you list them if they're security? If they're security, in theory, you can list them. But the issue is when you have the dirty laundry and all the difficulty on the regulatory side.
Dirty laundry. Nobody has more dirty laundry than the Ethereum guys and the ICO. It might be a lot worse than dirty laundry. It might be laundry, all right.
I think you might be stepping on a landmine.
As in laundering, possibly. Okay, now, then we've got this clip. Man, this guy, he's like Joseph Lieben. He keeps on talking.
I've seen a press release that I don't know who issued on your behalf that you've already raised 12 million plus from different groups, including Wangsheng Labs, who are an early backer of Ethereum. You also have Hashkey, who are partners to you, and they invest and accelerate.
Now look, I want to stop there, and we'll come back to this one, because she just said that this Wang Cheng was an early backer of Ethereum. I want to show you, this is Cowboy Crypto. He's got a really good thread here, and I want you to see this part right. I think it's right. Yeah, here. 20-year-old Vitalik clearly was facing huge pressure from the community developers. This infrastructure and technology, which had the potential to change the world, really deserves strong support from all parties. So I thought to myself, if we could actually fund the development of Ethereum at this critical moment, we would not only become a major participant in this revolutionary project, but we could also leverage this opportunity to guide and implement Wang Zhang's blockchain strategic planning. I proposed to Vitalik we would donate $500,000 to the Ethereum Foundation under the name Wang Cheng Blockchain Labs. The Ethereum Foundation accepted the donation, and if necessary, to dispel the developers' doubts, we would continue to fund the foundation over the next year so that developers could focus their work to help Ethereum mainnet go live. So, you know, in the last little bit, you've heard the Ethereum guys talking about the Shanghai upgrade. Now you know why it's called the Shanghai upgrade, folks. Now let's go back to the video with her. Because Protherium is also, they've got 50 freaking Chinese engineers that worked on their platform. Their largest owner, per the CEO, is Wang Cheng, same company.
Startups.
The largest blockchain company in China.
Are you also there looking for blockchain startups to join your platform so that you can not only turn their crypto into securities for then the public at large to invest in? Or is it something where you're just looking for more established projects? Or where are you getting whose tokens are you representing?
Sure. Obviously, Guangsheng and Hashkey have extensive relationships in mainland China and in Hong Kong in general. And basically, they have a nice pipeline of potential issuers that as they mature could potentially list on the platform.
There's China's interest in investment in Ethereum expands. This is different screenshots where they talk about Vitalik and all this stuff. So the Shanghai upgrade, that is not a coincidence, folks. All right. And then I want to show you a couple more things out of this Cowboy Crypto from Vitalik right here. How an army of crypto hackers is building the next internet with Ethereum. An army of crypto hackers, the Chinese version, the next internet with Ethereum, Chinese version. In this piece, Dr. Zhao, who I think is the same guy on the Prometheum board, shares his interaction with Vitalik Buterin during the early days of Ethereum and how the city of Shanghai played a key role in the history of the world's second largest digital asset. Folks, are we watching the Ethereum people help China rise to become a financial superpower over the United States? Because that's what this looks like. This is the CCP Ethereum version. That's what this is, folks. You can see it a mile away because we've also shown. Well, anyway, there's a lot more to this thread, but I'm not going to go into it anymore. I want to move on. John, there's 2 or 3 articles that were written this morning about Gary Gensler that make me want to throw up. One of them's New York Post article by Charles Gasparino. It's this one. SEC's regulations on dangerous crypto are an uneven mess. He's right about that. It's an uneven mess by design. Here's a quote from it. Gensler's people, meanwhile, declined my request for comment, but the chairman was recently interviewed on CNBC and gave Prometheum an attaboy for coming to the SEC and seeking proper registration while agreeing not to trade crypto he believes violate the law. And then here's another article today, Crypto War, the secrets behind Gary Gensler's SEC strategy. I think the secret is the freaking CCP, folks. I think that's the secret. You know, one thing in this article right here that made me want to throw up, in a newly surfaced video from 2018, Gary Gensler, who now serves as chair of the SEC, definitively states that Bitcoin, Ether, Litecoin, and Bitcoin Cash are not securities. That's a newly surfaced video. Let me write that down because it's so nauseating. Newly surfaced video. Let me show you this newly surfaced video. This is from Ryan. This is Ryan Selkis posting this video that the XRP army was posting probably 2 or 3 years ago while we were uncovering ETHgate, and all of them were ignoring it because some of them were probably involved in ETHgate. Okay? This is not newly surfaced. The XRP army found this stuff years ago. None of what's happening in the fight right now would even be happening if the XRP army had not been uncovering this stuff years ago. So no, it's not newly surfaced. Now I'm going to finish right here. This is Ashley Prosper, who is all over it, as usual. Wang Chang, that's the company that was the early investor in Ethereum and the prime. This guy said they're a huge part. They're like a founding partner of Prothereum is what he said. Wang Chang America achievement has been associated with U.S. government support and encouragement, invited by Vice President Biden, who is also under investigation right now for being bribed by China and the Ukraine, okay, to visit several cities in the U.S. from July 2016, including Detroit, Dover, Washington, to explore investment opportunities. The company's chairman, Lou, however you say that name, is proud that Wang Zhang Group has contributed to the economies of both China and the U.S. 1 out of 3 made in the U.S. cars uses auto parts that are produced by Wang Zhang America, said Daniel Lai, project manager. The company has 28, based in the Hangzhou province. Wang Zhang Group's Chicago-based subsidiary, Wang Zhang America, won a bankruptcy auction for the assets of lithium-ion battery developers, I count 3 American companies that have been directly taken over by Wang Zhang during the Obama-Biden administration. If I count Ethereum and Prothereum, that's 5. They have also invested in Kleiner Perkins, Caulfield Byers, which is backed by entrepreneurs in over 900 ventures. Anyway, you can see what's going on here, folks. Where is Congress? I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family that when I was growing up, we actually had a manufacturing base. That was given away by Bill Clinton. Let's just say it. It was given away. NAFTA, our manufacturing was given away. And we're right now watching these pieces of you know what give our crypto industry away to these same people. Congress, this is on you. Tom Emmer, Patrick McHenry, Warren Davidson, who else? Representative Bill Huizenga, all of you people that claim to be going after what they're doing, stop talking about it, stop having hearings, and freaking do something about it. That's what you're there for. You have kids and grandkids. Do something about it. It's time for America to rise, not China. Thanks for listening.